Trustee Prendergast, do we have actions taken in closed session?
Yes, we have one. So on a 5-0 vote, the board took action in closed session to issue a notice of rejection of claim number 652307 pursuant to Government Code Section 913. The governing board further authorizes the Vice Chancellor of Business Services or her designee to issue any appropriate notices.
Okay, thank you. We will now have the invocation by myself and the trustee Jamal, right, for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thursday, March 20th was the first day of spring. The spring equinox is usually seen as a celebration of new life and new beginnings. It marks renewal and fresh beginnings when nature awakens, energy levels rise, and people are inspired to set new intentions or embrace change. This year, we may be a bit uneasy about the changes we are to embrace and the challenges we face, but as always, we will face whatever changes and challenges that come our way with positive responses and the knowledge that we will continue to keep our students at the center of every possible response to the spring's challenges. I hope you will join us in celebrating spring.
Thank you. Please join me in reciting our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, we have two public comments. The public comments need to be no more than 2 minutes, please, and we'll have to cut you off if it goes any longer than that. And we are not allowed by law to respond to it, but please know that we are listening and want to hear what you have to say. The first one is James Bogard.
Good evening. Honorable members of the Board of Trustees, distinguished guests, and esteemed colleagues. My name is James Bogard. I served from the Marine Corps from 2020 to 2024 here on Camp Pendleton. I'm currently a Saddleback student, a work study for Congressman Mike Levin, where I assist in Veteran Affairs and executive members of the Saddleback Vet Club. It is with deep gratitude and heartfelt appreciation that I stand before you today to express my sincerest thanks on behalf of our veterans here at Saddleback. Your generous funding and unwavering support have made it possible for us to embark on a truly significant journey, one that took us to Washington, D.C. to meet with our members of Congress, including Mike Levin, Young Kim, and Mark Takano, to advocate for issues that matter most to those who have served our great nation. This opportunity was more than just a trip. It was a mission to ensure that the voices of our veterans are heard, that their sacrifices are acknowledged, and that their needs are met with action and commitment. Because of your generosity, we will be able to engage in crucial discussions about policies that impact our veterans' education benefits and overall well-being. One of the major changes that we are starting to see implemented is the changes in veteran readiness and employment to ensure that disabled veterans are able to receive the help that they need in their training and career. Your investment in this cause is an investment in the brave men and women who have given so much to this country. Your belief in the importance of our advocacy reinforces our determination to fight for positive change. It is through your support that we are empowered to bring firsthand experiences, personal stories, and urgent concerns directly to those in positions of power. On behalf of every veteran who will benefit from this initiative, those who have served, and those who continue to serve, I extend my deepest gratitude. Your impact will be felt far beyond these walls. Thank you for standing with us, for believing in this mission, and for helping to create a brighter future for those who have dedicated their lives to protect our freedoms. We are honored by your generosity, and we promise to carry forward the mission with the dedication and results that our veterans deserve. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our second speaker is Doug Barr.
Don't charge this to my 2 minutes.
You what? What did you say?
My service in the Air Force changed my life for the better, and it's one of the reasons I chose to be in service of education. So thank you, young man. Good job for you. So as you know, my name is Doug Barr. Thank you for your time. and thank you all for your service to the district. I'm proud to have been a member of Saddleback College in the South Orange County Community College District, first as dean, and then for the last, do I dare say 30 years, as a counselor. I'd rather be home watching March Madness, but I'm here tonight again to express my huge disappointment in the questionable process used to discredit Terry Whitt-Rydell. Due process seems to have been ignored by not providing Terry specific justification for the accusations. And behind the scenes, I suspect there's some vindictiveness and retaliation based on unrelated hidden agendas and retaliation. I'm further surprised that a few of you trustees have bought into the unanimous decision to discredit Terry. Imagine yourselves individually under fire. Would you not seek a fair, open process? I also wonder if the board has the right to keep her from performing her elected duties that she was by her electorate. I thank you so much for listening, and I urge reconsideration and open-mindedness and an open process to go through this on both Terry's behalf and the college's behalf. I really think, her reputation has been damaged by this, but I really also
I'm
think
sorry, your time is up.
the reputation of the college and the district is under fire also.
Thank you for your input. We now have board reports. I'd like to start with Trustee Bartlett.
Thank you, Madam President. So since our last meeting, I, on March 2nd, attended the Table for 10 event hosted by the students in our culinary arts program. It was an excellent, well-attended event and a fun evening with many artistically crafted dishes prepared by our students, AKA future chefs, some of whom I'm sure will be James Beard Award winners someday. On March 7th, I had the pleasure of attending the IVC Foundation Awards Dinner and really enjoyed hearing about the many achievements at IVC, congratulating the honorees, and the attendees were very moved by a young man who relayed his incredible personal story as a foster youth who overcame many challenges early in life to then be connected to the IVC family, achieve a 4.0 GPA, and will have numerous universities reaching out to him so that he can continue his education and ultimately achieve his dream career in engineering. On March 11th, I had the opportunity to meet with two of our vice chancellors, Anne Marie Gable and Chris McDonald. I learned a lot about their duties and responsibilities and all the important areas they're in charge of within the district, and left their offices feeling confident that our district is in very good hands with these strong and capable executives. And it's amazing, they do the work of like 3 people, which is pretty incredible. On March 24th, today, I attended the audit committee just prior to our board meeting. Our open session included the 24-25 audit planning and the 23-24 foundation's tax return status. And on March 26th, on Wednesday, I plan to attend the opening of the spot on our campus and look forward to contributing with items to benefit our students. I know they're getting ready to graduate and have interviews in a couple of months, and it'll give me a good opportunity to clean out my closet. So people look at my closet and they say it's like the density of lead. So this will give me a great opportunity to contribute some really great things that still have tags on them to the students. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Trustee Datt?
All right, March has been a busy month. I'm just going to rattle off a couple of things I've gone to. Table for 10, amazing as always. We have fantastic students in our culinary program, and I'm so excited for them to start up in new facilities once the Saddleback at ATEP is completed. And I think it's just going to get better and better every year as they have these more up-to-date facilities. I also attended the IVC Foundation Gala every year, always a fun thing to join. And I don't know, it was a great time. I got to see some students that were there as well, so it's always great that we've got representation from all levels at our foundation galas. And then the State of the District, of course, was a fantastic event. It really puts in perspective just how much work the district does put into, being the #1 community college in the state and highly ranked in the nation. So I appreciate all of the work and effort that went into that, from our chancellor all the way down. So thank you to everyone who was involved with the State of the District. And then finally, I'm going to congratulate Mr. Tustin on his incredible win. So you are now in the presence of royalty. So that's it for my board report.
Trustee Prendergast, please. Yeah, that was like an introduction.
This counts on your time.
Letitia isn't here.
There, as I said, I was hoping to come to you tonight as Mr. Tustin. As you can see, that happened. Thank you very much for all of your support. I see that somebody did spend the $5 to $10 that you too can buy one of these support mechanisms for the fundraising effort. I do want to thank the district for helping out with the fundraising efforts for the Miss Tustin pageant and scholarships. That was very, very kind. It did not count toward my score, and I wound up winning by 0.97.
Oh.
Yeah, it was close. So yeah, so that was an amazing event, and now I get to. I didn't bring the robe. I thought that was a little too much. So and uneasy lies the head that wears a crown. So. But I did also attend the Orange County Business Council annual dinner, celebrating 30 years with some other trustees. That was an amazing event, hearing all the things that are going on throughout the county in the business world that relates to us. And I also attended the Orange County School Board Association dinner and meeting where we got a presentation on equity gaps. It was geared primarily to K-12, but it still applied to us, and it went really in line with the presentation that we had at the last board meeting as well, that I thought was really well done. So with that, thank you very much.
Thank you. Trustee Jamal?
Well, congratulations, Mr. Tustin. And I would hope that you would post something on social media so we can share it widely. I'll try to be succinct because a lot has been said already. The state of the district was again fabulous, and now you see why we have the best district, I believe, not only in the state but in the nation, the two best colleges. And my congratulations to the district staff, the two college presidents, the interview between, or the kind of podcast-like format between the three of you was well done. I want to thank Supervisor Katrina Foley for attending the event and for her support of Irvine Valley College, and also Mayor Agrin from Irvine, who stayed, I think, the entire time. So thank you to him for doing that. The only thing I would want to do is next year, let's get more of our community in attendance. I mean, the story that we're telling is incredible. And I think that even more of our community leaders and business leaders and our elected officials should be there. So let's try to strive for that to make this an even bigger event. Table for 10 was incredible. Elliot, the Saddleback students were amazing. Please make sure they know that, and the faculty that were involved and the leadership, and just an amazing event. John and the team at the IVC Foundation, as it was noted already, the story of the student who emerged from foster care was just so inspiring. But it's something, those are the kinds of stories that we hear and see every day. So I'm glad I attended the event. I almost didn't. I'm glad I did. Julie, congratulations on being elected again to the Orange County Business Council Board of Directors. Glad to have you as a voice on that board. And then I think that's it. Thank you.
Trustee Rydell?
Good evening, everyone. Yes, I want to dovetail, and I'm not going to, I'll just say ditto for what Trustee Jamal just said. The state of the district was fabulous. It really was done well. It came from different viewpoint. I was so proud, and I actually didn't even want it to quit. I loved what was being said. The two presidents up there with the chancellor, it was absolutely excellent. Also, I wanted to congratulate our chancellor for the board of directors again. And the IBC Foundation, I'm not going to repeat everything. It was fabulous, and the speaker was extremely good. It was a good choice, and it moved me in a special way this time. It really did. I also wanted to tell you that I went to the Meet the Mayors. That was a nice political event, and there were about 15 that got up to speak, and what they talked about is their contributions or the challenges that they have in their cities and the things that have been done and still are looking forward to do. That was very informative. And I was able to meet some of my supporters, some of the mayors who supported me during my campaign. That was great. Hey, I know you. I said, I hope so. And so it was well done. It was very well attended. I was very surprised that many people were there. And also I wanted to share with you that I presented Saddleback, IVC, and ATEP to over 50 women who were there. It was at the San Clemente Women's Club. And I just can't tell you how great it was. No, I'm not tooting my horn or anything, but it was. These ladies had no idea what a community college did, except for two that sent their children, and they just couldn't say enough. Plus, one of my students was there, so the nursing program was well presented. But I want to tell you, they just sucked it up. They were so excited that the community college came alive. They had no idea of what we did. I told them about the surveys. I told them about our partnership programs. And
Thank you very much.
too bad. Okay.
Student trustee Charlotte Clementi.
Good afternoon. Hope everybody is well and rested from break. College transfer decisions have been coming out and will continue to. So best of wishes to all the students who are in the application process. Foster Youth Awareness Month is in May, so we're preparing for that and hoping to have separate ceremonies to congratulate those breaking systemic barriers and graduating. Shout out to Lucius Gibbons, a former foster and friend, for being an example of that. And welcome back to the students coming from Washington, D.C. Thank you for advocating for student needs and your commitment to making a difference in changing our college experience.
Thank you. My board report will be very short. I attended many of the things that everybody has already talked about, so I want to just pick on a couple of other things. One of them was that I attended the Women's Veteran event at Irvine Valley College, and, you know, it's like the foster youth at the gala. I was so moved by what those women had to say, and I knew I would be, but it was way more than I realized. And what they've been through and what they share and their resilience, I was really glad that I went. So our support of these veterans and the women veterans, I think, is one of the most important things that we do. The other thing is that some of us went to the Governance Leadership Conference in Waikiki. Now, before you say, oh, tough life, it was compact, and there wasn't any time for sightseeing, which, I'm feeling defensive. But it was an excellent, one of the best conferences I've ever been to. It was full group, and everybody talked, and you got to hear, not everybody, but, you know, people shared as they wanted to, and you got to hear what people from all over. And we had this bus, and I get on the bus and I sit down and I say, hi, where are you from? And the lady says, Micronesia. And I went, oh, I hadn't thought that through. And, you know, it's very expensive for the people from that area to go to Washington, D.C. or even Los Angeles or something. So I talked to people from Guam. One of the people, the man from Guam, his son goes to Saddleback College because of the golf program. And, you know, it was just so much fun to hear all of the things that the people were doing. But it was the curriculum of the event, of course, that was the highlight. And it was very complete and very well respected. And I just really liked it a lot. Thank you. That would be enough. Okay, let's go on to the other. Oh, do you do yours? I do. You do it at the end. Okay. We now have Associated Government, and Clarice Encarnacion is going to do hers and the report from Saddleback College.
Hello, everybody. I'll first be giving a report on behalf of Saddleback ASG President Christian Suazo. He apologizes for missing this meeting as he is celebrating his little brother's 16th birthday. So their ASG has celebrated Women's History Month with their panel featuring accomplished women in male-dominated fields such as film, law, and public health. And he thanks their Senator of Events and Senator of IDSC for coordinating this event. ASG has also assisted the Iranian American Society Club for the campus's first ever Nowruz Gala. It was a massive success that drew many in attendance to celebrate Persian culture. And finally, the ASG attended the ASAC conference in Washington, D.C. with their ASIVC counterparts, and they were fortunate enough to meet with the congressional staffs of Senators Alex Padilla and Adam Schiff and Congresspeoples Young Kim and Dave Min. And he thanks James Lytle of Townsend Public Affairs in scheduling these meetings where they made their commitments to fighting for our peers in the community college system. And that is the end of his report. And he looks forward to seeing everyone next month. Now, as for ASIVC, we just came back from the ASAC National Student Advocacy Conference along with Saddleback, where we met with congressional staffers from the various offices mentioned previously. This opportunity allowed us to advocate for student aid and programs that will continue to support undocumented students. We have several events coming up in the hands of ASIVC. This week, we are collecting clothing donations for our first clothing drive and swap, which will take place Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the SSE Quad. All leftover clothes will be donated to a local women's shelter in celebration of Women's History Month. Next month in April, ASIVC will be hosting our first hackathon called Laser Hacks. It will be a 48-hour hackathon spanning from April 4th to April 6th. Students of all disciplines are invited to participate in various roles such as program managers, software developers, designers, etc. And lastly, April 23rd, we will be hosting our first Earth Day celebration in the Quad, where we will have various nonprofit organizations and clubs teaching students about sustainability. And we will also have live music performed by our very own IVC students. So I'm looking forward to hearing from them. And as you can recall from my tardy, from last board meeting, I did get an A on my biology exam. And thank you, everyone. And the week after, I also got an A on my lab practical. So crushing bio right now. And with that, I conclude my report.
Irvine Valley College Academic Senate, Rebecca Beck.
Great work, Clarice. Congrats. Tonight, I would like to center our attention on the legal foundation that guarantees access, dignity, and opportunity to students with disabilities. These rights were secured not by accident, but through persistent advocacy and transformation through federal legislation. The Department of Education, through landmark legislation such as Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973 and the American with Disabilities Act of 1990, codified a powerful truth that students with disabilities have the right to equal access, full participation, and reasonable accommodations, not as a courtesy, but as a civil right. And now we find ourselves at a crossroads. As you may have seen, an executive order came out earlier this week that directs the Secretary of Education to begin dismantling the U.S. Department of Education and return educational authority to the states. As our own Chancellor, Sonia Christian, noted in her message earlier today, this move could fracture national education policy, creating inconsistent standards and deep inequities across state lines. While California may weather the change with its strong infrastructure, the same cannot be said for states with fewer protections or more restrictive policies. Programs that we rely on, such as those that fund disability services, uphold civil rights in education, and support low-income students, are rooted in federal law. This means that though the Department of Education cannot be dismantled by an executive order alone, even the threat of its removal introduces instability, particularly for those that rely on it for its protections. So as educators, I want to remind all of us that we must remain informed and vocal, because access should not be guaranteed by geography, but it should be guaranteed by our collective resolve. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We now have the Academic Senate from Saddleback College, Frank Gonzalez, and he's also going to do the Faculty Association.
Thank you, President Inman and Board of Trustees. So I don't know if you remember, or you probably do remember, last month, Angela Yang from our International Students Program came and talked about the trip that they were going to be doing in China. So I thought I reached out to Angela and got a little brief summary. She was very excited as always. So here's her summary. They had 91 people, students, faculty, and staff go to China last week. Don't worry, everyone came back safely. They had a great time, visited a vocational college and a high school in China. They took some art classes, saw cultural demonstrations such as making porcelain and learning fan dances. They toured museums and, of course, climbed the Great Wall. Specifically on the faculty side, there were 10 faculty who went this time from art, business, and humanities and social sciences schools. They met with faculty from the vocational college in China, and they shared curriculum and teaching methodologies. And some possible outcomes from this trip is, of course, trying to continue to offer more educational trips for our Saddleback students. And there were some possibilities to explore paid international internships for their students. And that's what Angela had to say, and that's all I have to say. I'll switch chairs for dramatic effect.
Faculty Association.
Faculty Association. Sorry, I just got to gather myself there for a moment. The Faculty Association is continuing to work with the district and college administration to ensure a safe and secure working environment at both colleges. I forgot to preface it with Robert is unable to be here due to a last-minute emergency, so he shared with me what he was going to read. The FA is committed to work with our district and colleges to find solutions and policies that allow faculty to focus on the educating of students at our colleges in a safe and productive manner. A major step to this end was done recently, last week, at the district-wide Health and Safety Committee meeting, which was led by District Director Karen Dubert. And I also was in attendance at that meeting, as were several other people who are here. The FA is looking forward to a response and working collectively on the recommendations shared by the Faculty Association on how we can move forward from the recent safety issues that occurred over the past couple of months at both colleges. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Irvine Valley College Classified Senate, Ace Kagiwa.
You got it. That is correct. Thank you very much. Good evening, Board of Trustees, Chancellor Barnes. So Classified Day took place last Tuesday, March 18th, and it was a huge success. We welcomed over 200 classified professionals from IVC, Saddleback, the district, and the ATEP. Chancellor Barnes delivered an insightful keynote reminding us how our work helps turn student dreams into reality. Thank you, Chancellor Barnes, for joining us and always continuing to be a strong advocate for our classified community. One of the highlights of the day was a student panel featuring 7 incredible students from across the district who shared their amazing and insightful stories and perspectives, and definitely reminded us and rooted us back to our why we work for this district. We then had our breakout sessions that were very engaging, with some being standing room only, including workshops with CSEA rights, retirement and financial literacy, AI in the workplace, exercising at work, and many more. Most of these sessions were actually led by our very own talented classified professionals. This day would not have been possible without the teamwork and collaboration of both classified senates and CSEA, along with the dedication of our planning committee, Desiree Ortiz, Georgina Martinez, Soraya Quiros, Casey Cooper, Riley Phelps, Haley King, Julie Scholl, Sylvia Torres Mendoza, Madeline Hernandez, and of course, Erlyn Ballo,
Also Ace.
who I had the honor of co-chairing this amazing event with. A special shout out to Leilani Anselmo for her key role in helping us get all the necessary contracts and purchases, and for Kim Wittes for her steady support and solutions all throughout this planning. Classified Day was a true celebration of the incredible work and spirit of our classified professionals here at SOCCD, and thank you to everyone who participated.
Thank you. Next, we have Saddleback College Classified Senate, Erlyn Ballo.
Good evening, everyone. Trustees, Chancellor Barnes. Just a few highlights on some work we have coming up. First, we're excited to introduce, we'll be hosting a professional development workshop on artificial intelligence this month, specifically Play Lab. It'll be taking place on Thursday, April 10th from noon to 1 in Gateway 271 via Zoom. Play Lab offers a safe and interactive space for classified employees and faculty, but for classified, this is the event, to explore AI's potential in education and collaborating with our peers and developing new tools that will actually allow us to enhance the students' experience seeking out services here at the college. Additionally, we'll be hosting our new employee welcome and onboarding event on Thursday, April 17th from 10 to 2. It'll be a tour of the campus, and we'll also provide employees who joined us across this academic year, we'll provide them with a deeper understanding of our college community, our campus, introduction to key services, insights to the role of Classified Senate, CSEA, and just the structure of California community colleges and how we work and how we're different from other institutions of higher education. We're also proud to support the Office of Student Success. It seems like there's a lot of clothing drives going on. So the Office of Student Success and the Basic Needs Program here at Saddleback will be having a professional attire clothing drive. Thank you, Trustee Bartlett, for sharing it a little bit earlier. This initiative will directly benefit students who are participating in the All Industries Job and Internship Fair on April 9th, helping them to make a strong first impression for potential employers. I'd like to invite the Board of Trustees, Chancellor, really anyone that's here, please, if you would like to part with any clean and gently used professional clothing, accessories, or shoes, your donations would be greatly appreciated. We'll be accepting donations in SSC 165 or College Center, the building right next door, Tuesday, tomorrow, March 25th from 11 to 1, Thursday, March 27th, again, the middle of the day.
Thank you.
And then email me if you just don't have time. I'll come collect it.
California School Employee Association, Desiree Ortiz.
Thank you so much. Good evening, Chancellor Barnes, trustees. I want to thank my fellow colleagues here and Senate presidents for the amazing professional development day last week. We all truly were rooted in our why as classified professionals. Chancellor Barnes started the day off with a true sentiment of care, and we led from there the whole day. We actually put on, myself along with our CSEA area rep, 3 Know Your Rights sessions, standing room only. We are very excited. But I also want to thank my fellow e-board members who were there with me to just support and let everybody know that we are CSEA, but we're there to support with the theme of care. I also want to thank all the professional, classified professionals who are embarking in the journey of Banner. I want to thank them all for showing up with grace and just really trying to embrace this new system. We all worked through Workday. We know what that was like. So I really want to support them and thank you all the amazing administrators who are there supporting along with them. I also want to thank you all for your continued support with remote work. We just went through a new session and it seems to be working well. So thank you for giving that life balance to our classified professionals. And lastly, I want to thank the district, Karen Dubert. I was there and part of the meeting for our safety. And thank you for listening, and also to my colleagues in both the PD departments for showing up and meeting with us. I've been working with Robert on that, so thank you.
Thank you. Perfect. The Police Officers Association is represented this evening by Stephen Brown from Irvine Valley College.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sergeant Stephen Brown, and I have the honor to represent the police officers assigned to Irvine Valley College Police Department. I was here almost 10 months ago, so I thought I'd take some time to reconnect with you. I am hopeful that this time will reaffirm our importance to the IVC and the South Orange County Community College District. We continue to serve the caring campus ethos, which defines our campus culture by contributing to our staff, faculty, and students' success. We know our community colleges are diverse, and our police departments play a pivotal role in safety and ensuring each person feels supported by our department. How we keep our community members safe is how we care and align ourselves with Vision 2030. 2 years ago, President DeVete challenged our police department to do further outreach to our students. I'm happy to report our work study and mentorship programs have led to employment at the police department for people pursuing legal professions. I'm still the advisor to IVC's Wireless Technology Club, who now meets once a week at the police department. Last year, we received a $23,000 grant to supply the club with radio equipment. Irvine Valley College is now a hub of regional, national, and international voice and digital communication. It is also an emergency communications resource. More important, the college now gives hands-on practical experience to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics students. The police department members continuously extend themselves to staff and faculty by providing emergency preparedness training. Last month, we also received an update from the Orange County Crisis Assessment Team's capabilities to better address mental health on campus. Last week, with the support from Vice Chancellor Dr. Chris McDonald, incident command training began for management and the crisis management team. On March 28th.
Thank you. Hate to cut off the policeman. Right. It doesn't sound totally intimidating. Okay, are there any board requests for reports? Okay, hearing none, there is no public hearing. Resolutions, Clerk Prendergast, would you read the resolutions?
Yes, we have two this evening. First one, resolution in recognition of March as Women's History Month. Whereas American women of every race, class, and ethnic background have made historic contributions to the growth and strength of our nation in countless recorded and unrecorded ways. Therefore, be it resolved by the South Orange County Community College District Board of Trustees that March is designated as Women's History Month, and requests that the faculty, staff, administrators, and students of the South Orange County Community College District observe March as Women's History Month with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities. I'll now entertain a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we accept the resolution for Women's History Month. So we vote. By a 6-0 vote with, okay, A 6-0 vote, this motion passes. Thank you very much. The next one, please.
Whereas Cesar Chavez was a heroic figure in the 20th century who inspired millions into action for economic justice, civil rights, and political empowerment, therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees for the South Orange County Community College District recognizes March 31st, 2025 as Cesar E. Chavez Day of Service and Learning and encourages student, faculty, and staff participation in events or activities that honor the life and work of Cesar E. Chavez. I'll entertain a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Is moved by Trustee Jamal and seconded by Trustee Dack that we accept the resolution for Cesar Chavez Day. Let's vote. On a 6-0 vote with an advisory vote by student trustee, this has been accepted. Okay, we'll now go on to the Board of Trustees and Chancellor section. 7.1, the Board of Governors 2025 Classified Employee of the Year Award. Is there any discussion? Oh, wait, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
It has been moved by Trustee Jack and I'm mixing up my Trustee Dack and seconded by Trustee Jamal to accept the motion about Classified Employee of the Year. Is there any discussion? Okay.
This is the nomination, right?
Right.
Okay, just clarification.
Okay. Is there any other discussion? Let's vote, please.
Good luck.
That's fine.
President Stern, do you want to talk a little bit about Willie Baldwin, who's being recommended?
I was not prepared to do so.
Okay.
So forgive me, and I've been caught sending an important email. This is for the resolution for the classified employee of the year. So Willie works in graphics. If you've ever been to one of the open houses in ATAS and walked into the graphics lab, you may have thought you were talking to one of the faculty members. It was in fact Willie. He is actively engaged in supporting the program and supporting students, but he's one of those ubiquitous folks around in every event people that makes it very worthwhile. Now that I'm using my microphone, that's all I had to say, but we're very happy. Thank you. I was looking, I did not read the signals well. There is no universal symbol for use your mic. We are very proud that Willie was chosen for this honor and hope that he's successful at the state level. Thank you, and forgive my slight brain absence.
That's okay. Okay, then it's time to vote. On a 6-0 vote and a trustee advisory vote of yes, it has been passed for the Classified Employee of the Year. Okay, let's go on. 7.2, please.
Before he starts talking.
Okay. The motion is on trustees' request for attending conferences. Is there a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved by Trustee Dack and seconded by Trustee Bartlett on employees attending conferences, trustees rather. Is there any discussion? Okay, let's vote. On a 6-0 vote, with an advisory vote by the student trustee, it has been approved for trustees requesting to attend conferences. Okay. The next is 7.3, the Board of Directors election, CCCT. We're to choose 4 people of the list to do this.
President Inman?
Yes, sir.
If I may, I'd like a motion, or I'd like to make a motion to put forward the 3 incumbents and yourself as our nomination. And if I have a second, I would like to speak as to why.
Okay, it has been moved by trustee Prendergast and seconded by trustee Jamal that we send forward the 3 incumbents and myself. Would you like to speak, please?
Yeah, so in the past, we've had great discussions of, should we bullet vote, only vote for one, our person, this, that, and the other. We've also had discussions about always like putting forth the Southern California people to kind of try and get them on there. But with the dynamics of this specific election, where there are only 4 spots available, it's really 13 people running for an open spot when you consider incumbents almost never lose these elections. So if we were to vote for anybody other than incumbents, we would be counterproductive in your attempt to make it on there. So by voting for the incumbents with the understanding that they're probably going to win anyway, we don't give any votes to any of the other non-incumbents for that one open spot. That's the logic behind it.
I like that thinking.
Of course you do.
I would like to move to amend that, as I've had very good conversations with the first person on this list, Rebecca Barrett, one of the few under 45 trustees that are elected in the state of California. And I do feel like there needs to be a younger voice on our board for the community colleges here in California. So I would like to nominate her to replace one of the incumbents on our list, if anyone would like to follow along with me on that.
Okay, that's an amendment. Is there a second to that amendment?
It would have to be asked if I considered it a friendly amendment.
Is it a friendly amendment?
It is not.
Okay.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but like I said, having gone through this myself 3 times and seen Marcia go through it 3 times, the incumbents never lose. So you'd be basically hurting our own trustee Inman's chance by putting forth another person to get a vote that would not go well for her, if that makes sense. I totally get what you're saying. I've met her. She's great. But just with the dynamics of this specific one, the way the numbers are, it would be very difficult for an incumbent to be unseated in that situation. So it would have to be seconded and then voted.
Okay. Is there a second for the amendment? If not, then it dies for lack of a second. It would then, is there any other discussion? Okay, then it would be time to vote on the motion, which is that we choose the 3 incumbents and trustee Inman. On a 6-0 vote with the advisory vote by the student trustee, this motion passes. Thank you. The next motion is on board policy revision for approval, 7.4. Is there a motion?
So moved.
I'm sorry, who was the second?
Trustee
Rydell.
Okay, thank you. It has been moved by trustee Dack and seconded by trustee Rydell for the board policy revision for approval. 7.4, sorry. Is there any discussion? Okay, let's vote. On a 6-0 vote with advisory vote from student trustee, the board policy revision for approval has been passed. We are now to 7.5, board policy revision for review and study. 7.5, do I hear a motion?
When can we discuss it after the motion?
So moved.
Oh, I have a question first.
You can discuss it after the motion in a second.
Okay, let's get it on the table first. So did you, I'm sorry, who?
I moved it.
Okay, a second?
Second. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Give it to
I seconded it.
Okay, it has been moved by trustee Dack and seconded by trustee Jamal. 7.5, the board policy revision for review and study. Now it's open for discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. So on board policy, let's see, I think it's 2330. It states that by 2/3 majority, we can suspend the application of Robert's rules. So that's 4.67 trustees, essentially. And then it says under quorum and voting, a quorum of the board shall consist of 4 members. So do we have any more definition with regard to, for instance, suspending Robert's rules? Do we round up to 5 trustees then to make that effective, or how does that work?
Councilor Barnes?
So a couple things. One, the language that you see is the language we've had for a while, so it's not the revised language, but it's a really great question because I did see that it says 2/3 in one section and 1 in 4, so it's really a majority of the board, so it'd be 4 out of the 7. So we might need to revisit and clarify that language because like you said,
Okay.
the
Just
4
wanted to bring it up because in the event it does come up, we can't have 4.67 trustees, so essentially, okay. And then I have some comments with regard to board policy 2715 and 2735. So it's taken me a while to get up to speed with a lot of the background information and details regarding the investigation and subsequent censure of trustee Rydell. First, I want to state that I'm really not in favor of retroactive board policy revisions. I don't think that's a good way to govern unless there's a strong legally compelling reason to do so, and in this case, I don't think there is one. Regarding censure, city council members, and recently we've had a council member from Lake Forest, one from Santa Ana, that was censured publicly on the dais, and that is basically, you're censured on the dais. And then again, recently, there was a now former Orange County Supervisor, Andrew Doe, who served as one of his colleagues on the Board of Supervisors. He was censured by his colleagues and removed from regional boards and committee assignments. But it was more than just an internal investigation like we have with Trustee Rydell. Andrew Doe, there were ongoing internal investigations. There was the Orange County District Attorney that was weighing in, the FBI, the U.S. Attorney, and the IRS, and things are still playing out in various courts. With Trustee Rydell, we have an internal investigation, but really no adjudication in the courts or district attorney's office criminal investigation, or where an independent, authoritative, or legal body has weighed in on the investigation results relating to the censure of Trustee Rydell. Several months ago, I attended, along with two other trustee colleagues, the California Community College League Conference in Sacramento. One of my colleagues asked at the Q&A portion of a breakout session, what else can be done beyond a censure of a colleague? And the panel was comprised of a mix of 4 college board chancellors and college board CAOs. And they gave some rather sage advice in response to the question being posed to them. And basically, the comment was, work to get along with your colleague and let that trustee do their job pursuant to the voters electing that person to office for the specified term. Our board policy states that a censure is an official expression of disapproval passed by the board, and that makes sense and is understandable, but to proactively, and in this case, retroactively, prohibit a trustee from performing her duties and obligations that the voters in her district are expecting is something else, absent any legal determination through the civil courts or criminal determination by the district attorney, because the board, our board in this case, is in effect acting as the judge and jury in rendering its decision. So for these reasons, I strongly advise my colleagues to vote no, or in the alternative, take no action on moving proposed board policy revisions of sections 2715 and 2735 for further review and study. Thank you.
Chancellor Barnes, do you have comments on that?
Yeah, so this was actually a directive from the board for me to work with my team to revisit Board Policy 2715. And so at this point, it's before the board for review and study.
Did this go before the board subcommittee?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It did. It went to the board subcommittee on board policy as well.
But there was no vote by the board subcommittee.
Okay. I do have a question based on those comments, is that does this go retroactively? I would assume that you can't, that this is addressing an issue of if it happens again in the future, in my mind. And in that case, I would support it. I 100% agree with you. I don't think we can retroactively go back and do anything based on the previous events. And I would not support that. If this is for future issues that we might have because of, making sure that it's understood how serious of an offense it is, then I would support it. But if it's retro, then no.
The proposal on both of these items, 2715 and 2735, specifically states in the revisions that it would be retroactive, and that I strongly disagree with the retroactivity as well.
I agree with you as well.
So, I agree with that. I didn't catch that for today, but my question is, when you say there wasn't a vote, I chaired the board policy subcommittee for many years, and nothing came out of that subcommittee unless there was agreement of the 3 members. So was there disagreement? Hold on. Was there disagreement among the 3 members before this was forwarded to the full board? But I also agree it shouldn't be applied retroactively, but I'm curious about what happened at the subcommittee meeting.
It wasn't a vote exactly, but there was agreement.
No, there was not really agreement. And I specifically asked the question when we had the discussion at the board subcommittee, I'm not sure about this. Are we going to be voting on this? And I was told, no, we're not voting on this. It's just going to go to the full board. So, I mean, if it had come up to a vote in the board subcommittee, I would have strongly opposed, the revisions, especially the retroactivity, and I would have voted no at the board policy level, board committee policy level, but it never came up for a vote.
Yeah, now that I see that, like the last sentence there, yeah, I would strike that out. Before I would vote yes.
Okay, it seems that perhaps we should vote.
Well,
This is
you're
review and
voting
study.
for review and study.
Yeah,
That's
it can be
exactly
fixed
why
before it
we're
comes
having the
back.
conversation.
So this isn't the final?
Exactly.
Okay.
It's coming back next month.
Come back.
So this
That's
is not
right.
final. It can be changed. And
Oh,
it sounds
okay.
like at least there's 3 of us that want it changed.
Okay.
I don't know about you, President Inman or Trustee Dack.
No, I'd
or-
have to read it again, but I can see
Okay.
what you're saying. Okay, so then would the proper thing is to send it back to the policy committee, or no?
You can direct the leadership, the administrative leadership to make the change.
Let me just add for public record here on Board Policy 2715, item E, I'm going to read the entirety of it. Board members who are found by a majority of the board to have acted unethically or to have violated this policy may be subject to reprimand, possible exclusion from closed sessions, public censure, referral to the district attorney for criminal prosecution, or other action as determined by the board. So our board policy allows us a lot of leeway in how we deal with censured members. So we don't have to wait for a process that is instigated by the district attorney to reprimand our own members. I believe that the Orange County Board of Supervisors' lack of action towards Supervisor Doe was an issue with their board not wanting to reprimand their members.
I mean, all good points. There's just something to add. I think I saw it the other day in the Voice of OC that I think it was the Anaheim Elementary District voted to expel, not censure, to expel one of their trustees before it was adjudicated by a district or state attorney. I don't know the details of the case, but I know that they took that action.
I read that too, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's our next?
I'd like to make a comment.
Yes, Trustee Rydell?
I know that these policies are here for review and that they will come back in April, but I would truly like to have this policy and the travel policy pulled until we have a third-party evaluation. I believe that they are not legal and that they are petty, punitive, and hard-handed, and I do not believe truly that they are legal. I believe that they are being pushed by several board members, and I request that the entire board thinks about this, that I no longer have the opportunity to truly represent my 147,000 constituents in my area. And I went through a hellacious campaign, and I worked very hard for this position, and the public voted me into this position. I do not believe that what you are doing is legal. So I would like those policies to be pulled, 2715 and 2735, and that they would have a third-party evaluation. Because if you do pass it, you all believe the same. I know you better. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're missing one of our board trustees this evening, and I'm just wondering if perhaps, in good faith, we should go ahead and table this to the next board meeting when we have all 7 of us
It's just for review and
available.
study. This doesn't pass anything. So she still has the opportunity to review and study it before our next meeting.
Well, that's true.
And
Yeah.
So again, I think the question really is, what's the next step? Does it need to go back to the board policy subcommittee or through the process to strike that out? Or do we just leave it in and then vote to strike it out next meeting? That's, I think, the core question is. And as far as Trustee Rydell's request for a third party, I don't know who that would be, because my understanding is legal has already looked over this, which was all the recommendations we got on what our options were in the first place was from a third party. It wasn't anything we came up with as the subcommittee. We were given advice.
Third party meaning whom?
That's what I'm asking. What do you mean? Like, you asking for
Well,
legal?
you said from our House legal, that they reviewed this
Yes.
and they made it law?
No, these were the recommendations given to us by our legal representation for the district. when the subcommittee met, we didn't come up with any of this. This was all given to us by legal as to what the options were. So when you're asking for a third party to review this, I don't know who that would be outside of the legal that already gave us this language.
I'm going to call on Chancellor Barnes, please.
So just to kind of determine kind of next steps with this, I think Trustee Prendergast, you're correct. I think, again, it's for review and study. There's been a discussion, and I think at the next meeting, the board could move to strike the piece on where it says this policy is intended to apply retroactively. And then to Trustee Rydell's point, yes, it was actually at the recommendation of legal that this be placed in the policy. However, we can get a legal opinion, like a formal legal opinion on it, so that the board has that information before, making any determination with regard to a vote next month. So we can do all of that. We could determine, we can kind of formally get a legal opinion, and then two, the board can strike that piece on the retroactive, applying it retroactively.
If I could jump in, what I would recommend, and again, let's be clear, this is review and study. This is not passage, a final passage. It's kind of like if you follow the Senate, it's like invoking cloture. You get to a vote that allows you to a final vote. However, having said that, I would say, Chancellor Barnes, that when it comes back with modified language, so we don't have to modify it here at the dais.
Yeah, I'm fine if that's the direction of the collective board. So
Well, in absence of that, then I would recommend the subcommittee meet prior to the next meeting to review the language again and try to come back with consensus. If you don't have consensus, then when you present the item, I think that should be noted.
Okay, so we've done this before where it's been more like language usage and, less serious things in a way. And it was just changed and when it returned for final passage, it reflected the changes that the people had asked for. So that's what you're saying.
Can I just make a comment?
Yes.
If I don't have enough time to resolve this because I will investigate it, I just want to make note that I would get more time. Because you're only asking for 3 weeks, 3.5, 4 weeks to get this.
Can you explain what you mean by resolve this?
Well, I want to investigate it. I should say that.
So you have an investigator? You've hired an investigator?
Have I hired somebody? Not an investigator.
So, well, I don't know. I would like to get this resolved soon.
All right.
I guess my question, what are you looking to investigate that would, because again, this is board policy. This is not, again, if we get what we're asking where it's not retroactive, this doesn't apply to you. This is a board policy that would apply in the future to anyone else that was censured.
I understand.
Because we didn't get a whole lot of direction until legal stepped in, which is why they want to add this. So in the future, if it happens, there's more information for board members that get put on that subcommittee to make a decision. So again, I understand you're trying to investigate and find exculpatory evidence to clear whatever, but what we're voting on here is what to do to move forward with on language that, for all intents and purposes, is not affecting you, but it's a byproduct of how the process went through.
I understand, but it is so punitive.
Well, let me add this.
And this is embarrassing to the board.
Let me add that this measure in this board policy is not coming out of nowhere. This was discussed in our January meeting, and the board decided that this should be a board policy instead of something that is in the censure document. So this has actually been floating around for 2 to 3 months. So this is,
It doesn't matter
time
if
has
it's 4 or
happened.
5 months, it hasn't been brought to our attention or the public's attention. I mean, to go to a gala and not be able to say that you are the trustee
Well, who's saying that?
That's what the board, what the item says.
Isn't it
Can't
just
can't represent the board and you can't represent the district. I mean,
restriction on travel?
I'm not talking about travel right now. I'm talking about the item that I just mentioned. It's petty.
But where is that?
It's in 2715. It's in red.
Where does it say you can't speak at the gala as a trustee?
Well, no, it says here that
Okay.
any auxiliary now, nor may they represent the board or district at any conference, meetings, engagement, or similar activities. What I went to 3 weeks ago, I could have never told anybody that I'm representing South Orange County Community College District.
I think what we need to do is to refer this back to the policy committee and ask for a legal opinion and bring the whole thing back next
Yeah,
month.
so I agree with that. I would recommend pulling the item and then remitting it back, or remanding it back to the subcommittee for review. And then bring it back at an appropriate time, hopefully by next month, so we can get this resolved.
Yeah,
And so-
we don't even have to pull it because essentially they will all come back. It's just that these two will come back with perhaps new language and legal opinion.
Correct.
Okay? Thank you. Is there a vote that we have the motion and the second to vote for review and study?
No, I'm recommending we pull the item for review and, what's that?
Those two?
But we're going to review and study all
Oh,
of
yeah,
them.
I'm sorry, to 2715.
And 35.
What was the
Yeah.
other one? I'm sorry, what?
735.
2735.
Well, we'll bring them all back, but those two will have special consideration.
So there's understanding, because we want the public to know this too, so these two items will then go back to the subcommittee
Correct.
for review with council present, and then we'll come back to the full board for a vote on final passage.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. Now, do we need a motion? We have a motion. I think it's time to go ahead and vote on that and then do that work over the next month and return all of it back. Okay, so let's vote, please, on review and study.
I'm not sure I understand what you said.
Then ask.
You wanted to pull? Okay, before we vote, I just want to make it clear, because it's going back to the three of you in the ad hoc, no,
it's
in
going
the
to the
policy
policy
committee.
committee.
Yes, I understand that.
Right.
So I am concerned about that. So I want to know how I want to vote.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
That it's going back for a rewrite?
Yes, they will take into consideration what has been said. That's what we always do with all policies.
Can it be considered that you negate all of that?
They will just have to talk about that.
All right.
This will be coming back to the board.
Yeah.
With policy subcommittee doesn't have the authority to just make board policy. It has to come back to the board. So there will be another discussion if you're still unhappy with the terminology.
Okay, let's vote, please.
I have one more question. I want to ask the president. Can I ask to see evidence? I have not had due process. I have never seen the evidence.
She's seen the whole report.
We have released the executive report of the internal or the external investigation.
Hold on. This is an agenda item
Right.
about the board policies, all right?
Right.
Now, Robert's Rules of Orders has not been suspended, and we need to comply with the rules of the state in the Brown Act. We're talking about, we cannot talk about an item not agendized, okay? We're not going to do that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We need to just vote on this and any other questions that you have addressed to the chancellor, and we can work that out, not at the meeting.
I thought it was related.
On a 4 yes, 1 no, 1 abstention, the motion carries. Okay, thank you. Number 8 is presentations. There are none. Number 9 is the consent calendar. Are there any polls on the consent calendar? Okay, seeing none, let's vote on the entire consent calendar, please.
We need a motion.
Sorry.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by trustee Dack and seconded by trustee Prendergast that we vote on the consent calendar. On a vote of 6-0, with an advisory vote by the student trustee, the consent calendar passes. We are now to business services. 10.1.
So moved.
I'm sorry, the second?
Trustee Rydell.
It has been moved by trustee Jamal and seconded by trustee Rydell that we adopt the access and option agreement with Victory AI Academy. Is there any discussion?
I just want to thank the staff. Where's Medhani? Medhan, oh, who else? And, oh, of course, Anne Marie, yes. And business services and this district for actually taking the development of ATEP to another level. I think myself and others on this board who have been around a little bit had noticed that we had not made ATEP the priority I think that it should have been. And really a lot of kudos goes to the district and the staff and the leadership and then Chancellor Barnes when you came in to make development of ATEP a true public-private partnership campus. It's been a long time. And for us to be at this where we are with these ground leases hopefully coming on board really is, it's really a great day for the district and for the two colleges who are going to benefit from this as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we adopt the access and option agreement with Victory AI Academy. Let's vote, please. On a 6-0 vote with advisory vote from the student and the student trustee, this passes. 10.2 is ATEP Access and Option Agreement with Top Tennis Management Incorporated.
So moved.
Second?
It has been moved by Trustee Jamal and seconded by Trustee Bartlett that we adopt access and option agreement with Top Tennis Management Incorporated. Is there any discussion? Okay, let's vote, please. On a 6-0 vote with advisory from the student trustee, this passes. Thank you. 10.3, sorry. California Community Colleges Chancellor's Office, California Adult Education, English Language Learner Healthcare Pathways Round 2 Grant.
So moved.
Second?
It has been moved by Trustee Dack and seconded by Trustee Bartlett. Is there any discussion? Yes?
Yeah, I just want to say, we got a presentation on this at a Pathways conference in Seattle, I believe, 8 years ago, how it was being done in other states like Texas and New Mexico. And I was immensely impressed by those programs, and to see us being able to implement them here finally, this really makes me happy. This is going to be amazing.
Good. Oh, that's good to hear. Thank you. Any other discussion? Okay, let's vote, please. On a 6-0 vote with advisory from the student trustee, this passes. 10.4, South Orange County Community College District, Saddleback College Community Education Professional Services Master Agreement with Capistrano Unified School District, Amendment Number 2.
Move the item.
Second.
It has been moved by Trustee Bartlett and seconded by Trustee Prendergast. Is there any discussion? Okay, time to vote. On a 6-0 vote with advisory from the trustee, student trustee, this motion passes. 10.5, Irvine Valley College Electrical Infrastructure Upgrades Project, award of bid number 11133-2025, Mel Smith Electric Incorporated.
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved by trustee Jamal and seconded by trustee Rydell. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing no discussion, let's vote. What's her list? That's okay. On a 6-0 vote with advisory vote by the student trustee, this motion passes. 10.6. Saddleback College Science Math Building Project, change order number 3, Icon West Incorporated. A motion, please.
So moved.
Second?
It has been moved by trustee Prendergast and seconded by trustee Bartlett. Is there any discussion?
I just had a question for, well, she's not here, but for business services. Is the change order within the approved budget for the project? Okay, I'm hearing a yes from business services. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Is there any other discussion? Let's vote. On a 6-0 vote with an advisory vote by the student trustee, this item passes. Now we're to 11, Human Resources. Vice Chancellor Viscachill, number 11.1, are there any changes?
No, 11.1 will allow the board to vote to promote 8 individuals from year 1 to year 2 contract in the tenure process.
Okay, thank you. Is there any discussion? I guess we didn't.
So moved.
Yeah, thank you. Skipped a point there.
Second.
It has been moved by trustee Jamal and seconded by trustee Dack that we report on the first-year probationary faculty recommendations. Let's vote, please. On a 6-0 vote with advisory from the student trustee, this passes. Congratulations, first-year people. 11.2.
11.2 will have the board consider promoting 28 faculty from year 2 to a 2-year contract. The 2-year contract is by education code, so they would go to years 3 and 4 with the vote of the board.
A motion, please.
Second.
It has been moved by trustee Rydell and seconded by trustee Dack that the second-year probationary people be moved to their next contract. Any discussion? Okay, vote, please. On a 6-0 vote with it, oh no, this one doesn't. This does have the student?
No, she abstained.
Oh,
She abstained.
okay, I see. All right. On a 6-0 vote, the final the ratified 2-year contracts for the employees who have completed 2 years as full-time tenure-track faculty members. Thank you. 11.4, the big one.
11.3.
Sorry.
11.3 is 11 individuals who have highly qualified faculty members who have completed all the requirements and qualifications of the tenure track process. The board will be voting to give them tenure starting in the fall semester.
Move the item.
Second.
It has been moved by trustee Bartlett and seconded by trustee Prendergast that we ratify tenure for full-time faculty members who have completed the 4-year tenure track plan. Any discussion? Let's vote, please.
Sorry.
It's frozen, but it passed 6-0.
So I just, they said it froze. So. On a 6-0 vote, we have ratified tenure for full-time faculty members who have completed the 4-year tenure track plan. Yay. Are there some here? Can we have? Yes, absolutely. Stand, please.
If you're here, please stand. Let me read your names. Hamibat Juan Walla, Taylor Brooks, Araceli Centenino, Winnie Den, Michael Dowd, Stacy Eldred, Donna Franks Syed, Savion Steinler, Lindy Tannenbaum, Nils Taylor, and Nicholas Timmons.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, we're now on 11.4.
No changes to 11.4.
Okay, a motion, please.
So moved.
I'm
Second.
sorry, who?
Me.
Okay.
Second.
It has been moved by trustee Jamal and seconded by trustee Bartlett. Is there any discussion?
Does anybody want to take Marcia's spot on Elizabeth Emmons?
I was thinking about that.
We were doing.
Congratulations. Okay, is there any other discussion? Let's vote, please.
You should thank this one.
Okay, before you say the vote, I'm going to play Marcia then. I just recognized one of the faculty members who just became tenured right before COVID. I took a screenwriting course with Nils Taylor at the time, who was an adjunct faculty member, and he did a fabulous job. My screenplay is still only halfway done because of other things that had taken over my life, but I'm glad to see that he's moved ahead. He was really terrific.
Great,
And he liked my screenplay as far as the half of it I'd finished.
Did he know you were a trustee?
I don't know. I was just trying to fill time. Is the vote done? Oh.
On a
Sorry.
technology. On a 6-0 vote, the motion for academic employees and management personnel has passed. Okay, number 12.
No, 11.5.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sam, 11.5, classified personnel actions.
No changes, thank you.
No changes. Motion?
The item.
Second.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the first.
Oh, move the item.
It has been moved by trustee Bartlett and seconded by trustee Prendergast that we adopt the classified personnel ratifications. Discussion? Okay, let's vote, please. On a 6-0 vote, this passes. Okay, number 12, educational and technology services, 12.1, the academic calendar. Do we have a motion?
Move the item.
Second.
It has been moved by trustee Bartlett and seconded by trustee Dack that the Board of Trustees approve the proposed academic calendar for the 2026 to 2027 year. Is there any discussion? Let's vote, please. On a 6-0 vote with advisory from the student trustee, the calendar has been approved. 12.2.
So moved.
Okay, final action on public session, the discipline, student IBC discipline. It is a second, please.
Second.
It has been moved by trustee Prendergast and seconded by trustee Bartlett. Is there any discussion? Okay, let's vote, please. On a 6-0 vote with an advisory from the student trustee, the motion on recommending the approval of the student discipline hearing has passed. Okay, the next part is information only. We have number 13.1, the facilities plan status report. Number 13.2, monthly financial status report. 13.3, Saddleback College and Irvine Valley College speakers. 13.4, annual report on the third-year probationary faculty continuation of tenure track.
So those are the individuals that are on a 2-year contract and they're completing their second year of that contract. So it's information only because it's automatic.
Right. Okay, we don't discuss this, right? It's just information. Yeah. Okay, so now we have reports from administration.
All right, I guess I get a start. It's just like you heard earlier, it's been a super busy month with lots of activities. Thank you for those of you who were able to be present for the State of the District. I thoroughly enjoyed being able to have the conversation with the president on the stage, and that was just heartfelt conversation, which I really appreciated. Really appreciated the energy in the room with over 200 classified professionals at Classified Professional Day. And I'm just going to go back to kind of some themes that we've been talking about. And I know it was threaded into the State of the District and the Classified Professional Day as well. And so just as a reminder, everyone, our district had its groundbreaking on Valentine's Day in 1967, a great year, I might add, for a reason. I was born that year. I just gave it away. So that was 58 years ago that our district was founded on Valentine's Day. So I like to say, dare I say, that we were founded on the principles of love and care, that our residents then, 125,000 residents, said, we care enough about this community to provide educational opportunity to all of the residents so that we could uplift this community and bolster economic vitality and social mobility. And I would say that 58 years later, we're still grounded in love, we're still grounded in care, we're still grounded in those principles of educational opportunity. Did you hear our police officer speak about caring police officers in the POA and in the department? Did we hear about the caring campuses? Yes. Did we hear James, our student veteran, speak? He was here, by the way, at 5 p.m. as well and also spoke. And then he's still here, our student veteran here. And so I'm just reminded, and then we have our fabulous faculty who just were granted tenure as well. This is a community who remembers that we are grounded in love, care, educational opportunity, and economic and social mobility for all. So I love it. I'm so proud of our district and all the people who work here. And so I just wanted to share that thought. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Vice Chancellor Viscatil.
I just want to lend my congratulations to the classified leadership, the Senate, and the union for putting on a really fabulous professional development day. There's a lot of work that goes into it, so well done, folks. It was a great success, so nicely done.
Thank you. Vice Chancellor McDonald.
No report.
And we have Connie Kavanaugh from Business.
No report.
Thank you. That's all. That's it? Okay. Oh, well, see, there's no list. I'm sorry. All right. Let's try President Hernandez.
Thank you, Trustee Inman. I wanted just to share, and I know that you and Trustee Dack attended as well, the 2025 State of the City for Irvine, where was so appreciative of Mayor Agron's wonderful shout out to IVC, as well as his proposal to introduce in next year's budget an additional $100,000 for IUSD students to attend IVC. These would be $2,000 scholarships. And that's on top of the city's ongoing support. Many of you know that in 2012, the voters of Irvine passed Measure BB, known as the Support Our Schools Initiative, and since 2013, IVC has been receiving $100,000 per year for scholarships, but also to support the early college program at Beckman High School. And it just speaks to the special relationship that we have with our city. I think it really shows the value added effort that we make and the impact that we make in our community. This item was in my board monthly report. I just wanted to elevate it because it's not every day that a student is selected for the All USA Academic Team Scholar, and I want to congratulate IVC students Zivang Shi. This is from a pool of over 2,100 applicants. Only 20 individuals are selected nationally for this prestigious honor. In addition to a $5,000 scholarship and some other wonderful things, this student will be recognized at the AACC convention in April in Nashville, Tennessee. And we're on a good streak. This is 2 years in a row. As you recall, Diego Victoria was the recipient of that distinction last year as well. And then lastly, I also want to extend my congratulations to the 11 faculty from both Saddleback and IVC on their incredible journey with us and on being granted tenure, and has already been recognized, our ethnic studies faculty member who's here, Araceli Santanini. Thank you.
Thank you very much. President Stern?
I want to add to the love to our tenure awardees. We are very proud of these folks. Many of them, as I look at Taylor, have already stepped up at our college as leaders and future leaders in many ways. And we really appreciate that we still have the opportunity to give this commitment of sorts to our faculty that says we believe in you and are going to support you to develop your craft and show the love back to our students, and in turn you give us that hard work and development of your craft going forward. I want to congratulate our forensics team back from the annual CCC FA State Championship where they placed fifth overall. They came back home with 5 bronzes, 2 silvers, and 3 gold medals for first prize in their competition. And finally, channeling Trustee Milchiker, I'd like to congratulate the University Rover Challenge team. Our Rover team finished the round of competition with 114 teams that they were invited to as the only community college. IVC now joins us. We appear in the program as SC Robotics for Saddleback College and Irvine Valley College, and we have students on the team. We placed into the finals, so 38 teams of the 114 made it to the finals. And I just wanted to say something to the teams that didn't make it. That is UC Berkeley and Harvard and Princeton. You know, it's really about the honor of participating and not about winning or losing. And we were just really honored to have such strong
I didn't know you had that in you, Elliot. Wow.
I am honored to have to compete against such strong teams, and we were so glad to have them at their side. But we are very glad to be moving on to finals in May. That's it for Trustee Milchiker. That's it for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think that we are about done. Is that true? Well, thank you very much, everyone. Congratulations.
Is it adjourned?
Yeah. The meeting is adjourned.